Hey guys, I'm James. This is Nick. We're part of the F.R.S crew. What we're going to talk about today is how to make certain corrections in movement patterns in the fight game that are not necessarily beneficial, if you will. Nick here is the fight expert, and I'm the sports medicine guy, and so he's going to talk about the issues he sees in fighters, and I'm going to talk about how we fix it. Nick?
Sure. So a lot of times when people first come in, it's a struggle that we all have, but forward collapse. And what I see is, in order to generate power, you need to generate power through rotation. So you want to have good posture and a bit of a squat so that you can rotate at the hip and not be stuck in a forward collapse and try to rotate in a bound fashion. And so when I say, hips forward, shoulders back, a lot of times what happens is the shoulders go back, but it happens out of an arc of the back rather than rotating the pelvis in.
Okay. All right. So what's happening here? When a fighter leans forward, mostly it's because his anterior chain is shortened, and his hip flexors are shortened, right? And as long as he has shortened hip flexors, when he goes to straighten up, it's coming out of his low back instead of his pelvis, okay? So how are we gonna fix that? All right, well, what we need to do is teach the pelvis to flatten out so he can get upright without it coming out of the low back, okay? All right, but what we're gonna do, come on down here, Nick, and take a knee. Go ahead and let's turn you this way a little bit, maybe at a diagonal so they can get a better view. All right, what Nick is gonna do first is he's gonna put his arms out and his palms up. He's gonna go tall. We call that floating the head. He's gonna float the head, and what he's gonna do now is lift his front foot off the ground. He's gonna try and balance on that knee. All right, what's going on here, okay? For him to do that, his pelvis needs to flatten out. But I can see right now that what he's doing, come on up, and it is a little bit flattening out, okay? So what we're doing here is we're building stability in the down hip. Nick, what I want you to do is tuck your pelvis. So, like this, okay? So tuck that right pelvis, now lift your leg, go tall, all right. See what's happening here, okay? Now he's leaning back from here, okay? That's what we get. How are we gonna fix that? He's gonna maintain that spot. He's gonna grab this guy here with both hands, and he's going to push it into the floor. Now tuck your pelvis. What's happening here? By pushing this into the floor, he's engaging his abs, okay? The abs connect at the sternum, and they start at the pubic bone right here. So when he pushes down, he stays tall from here, and that lifts the pubic bone towards the sternum, okay? That's huge. All while tucking his pelvis, okay? All right, and Nick's gonna hold that for a couple of minutes, and then he's gonna do the other side. So first things first, Nick, palms up, let's do your balance test, okay? Why are we doing this? First of all, we want to teach stability in the hip. Yeah, we're doing one at a time. The stability is coming out of the downed hip, right? Go ahead, drop your foot down right there and tuck your pelvis, okay? All right, now grab this guy, okay? Push down, stay tall here, right? Okay, this is engaging his abs. Now his hips are flattening out, all right? Okay. Look, this is going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. But basically what we're doing now is teaching the anterior chain to engage long, okay? Being pulled forward is the anterior chain shortening. The only way you're going to effectively lengthen a muscle that needs to function correctly is to lengthen it long. And by doing this, it's staying tall at the sternum, lengthens this long. Okay, it also pulls up at the pubic bone, which flattens out the pelvis. All right, okay. The next thing Nick is going to do is he's going to come down on both knees, right here. Okay, he's going to grab this kettlebell with both hands, Yep. And he's going to go tall. Float your head, go tall from here. And what's happening now, his glutes are online. They're flattening out his pelvis. And he's going to hang out here for a while. Okay? So the first thing we did is we engaged the anterior chain long by pushing down like this on both sides. We set his hips. Now we're engaging the posterior chain. So we're getting the front and the back in both of these exercises. Now what Nick wants to do while he's staying tall is he just wants to look over his right shoulder behind him. Keep turning, keep turning. Yep. All right, now look over the left shoulder. Okay? Now look over the right shoulder and try and look at me. Turn your body, try and look at me. There we go. And the other side. Okay? What's happening here? He's learning rotation while in good posture. The posture he needs to learn to strike in, right? Because this is what happens to his body when he strikes, right? Okay, so we're retraining the body to strike like this, where you're generating rotation through your center, as opposed to doing this kind of stuff. All right? I hope that helps you guys. I'm James. This is Nick, Master Nick. Okay? We call him Master Nick now, or Quai Chain Nick. I like Quai Chain Nick.
Coach
All right.
Nick.
All righty, Coach. Thanks, you guys.